Marketing and selling is essential in your online business. And when you have the right strategies and mindset, you not only can make a lot of money, but you can change a lot of lives. Welcome to the Online Marketing Podcast, where we help course creators, membership owners, and coaches market and sell their offers.
We're your hosts, Paul and Melissa Pruitt. Let's dive in and get started.
We're sharing why launches fail and how to avoid this deadly mistake.
Oh my goodness, it's deadly?
It's pretty deadly.
Oh, I don't want our launch to die.
No. So we're going to avoid that. We're going to share with you how to avoid this.
I'm so excited to be covering this topic today because I have to say is like all of us, like the key moment in time is like the moment that we transition and we go from, you know, the teaching or the serving element and like going into like presenting the offer, that so much of the hard work was already done in advance. And we see so many people like drop the ball. It's like in US football getting all the way to that 1 yard line and like dropping the ball purposely, like on the ground right before you go over the goal line.
Yeah.
A lot of people do that, unfortunately.
And this is exactly what we're talking about with this mistake is there's no proper transition from the serving piece to the selling piece. And the sale is never asked for.
Yeah, and I think a lot of us have limiting beliefs. Mm-hmm. I think we have stories that we tell ourselves. You know, we have negative things that we have built up in our head of a lifetime of having either our parents or our social environments that we were in, maybe schooling, other things with friends, whatever, where we've had bad sales experiences in our lives. And we tend to like then project that as far as like, you know, into our people, you know, and a lot of times we see this shift where a lot of our clients, especially like we see them leaning in, like they're launching, they're in a great rhythm, they're having a great time, there's great energy, they feel really good about it. And then suddenly it's like they turned into a different person.
Yeah. You can usually tell. One of the things that I do with our community is I do a lot of reviews and I watch a lot of sales presentations, and you can just see body language, them just shifting around, getting a little uncomfortable. Their voice starts to change a little bit. They talk a little bit faster. And you can see that uncomfortable piece. And, you know, it is. If this is something that just doesn't come natural to you, if you haven't ever sold anything before, it can be very nerve-wracking. Yeah.
And again, one of the most common things that you tell me after you do the reviews is like they rushed that part of the presentation.
It was like speed. It was like, whoa, where'd that offer go?
Yeah. It's like if you blinked, it was like disappeared. And it's like, here's all the energy, all the effort, the list building, the ads, like all the things we did to pre-influence to get people in. We got them into our launch. Now we're really excited, but right now, like we're in it and we're serving what we think is serving, and we're give. And then for some reason, I don't understand, but for some reason we make this mental shift. And suddenly we go in from like a give, and a lot of people feel like they're now taking, and and you see it in the body language, you see it in the tonality, and the talking a little bit faster, skipping over parts, like let me just get this part over with, you know. And I think we really need to take a step back. I think we need to rewind, because right at the gate, what we have to realize is that we are influencing people to make an informed, ethical buying decision. And the reason why we're launching is to give people the opportunity to see how we shine the best. And through that mechanism, we're guiding people into that buying process, right? So really the entire launch, even your runway that could potentially be weeks or months earlier, when you're pre-influencing, you're pre-selling. You're actually selling the entire time. And I think we really need to look at that word, because it's like the selling word is like a dirty word for a lot of us, and really need to like reprogram that languaging. Yeah.
And when you think about it that way, where that whole launch mechanism, not just the part where you're actually talking about the offer, but everything coming up to that point, selling really is serving. Again, it's giving people the opportunity, that information, so that they can make that decision. It's talking a little bit about, you know, the problems that they're facing and how this could be a solution and the ways that it could help them. So it's not a greedy thing. You're serving your audience by selling to them, by sharing with them all the different ways that your offer can really help them with the problem that they're having.
Yeah, unlike most people, I've spent basically my entire adult life in marketing and sales. And a lot of that is in-person presentations. Back when I had the real estate company, and then from there, like years ago when we did photography, we did in-person sales there. We do a lot of discovery calls and things these days. And really, we need to shift this mindset. We need to think that, coming back to what you're saying, like selling is serving, is that we really need to shift and look at that. Because if you become a better communicator, if you, get to the point and say to yourself, like, ask yourself a different question. How can I become a better communicator so I can ethically guide people into that informed buying decision where I feel good about it? Where, and I think that's the beautiful thing that I really love about the launch concept in general, is that it's not your traditional, like, hey, here's a fire sale, buy my thing, like where there's like no relationship. And that is all about like me type thing. That this is truly like you're leading with serving and giving, and there's a reciprocation. You're answering questions, you're handling objections in advance. There's so many things that you're doing during the launch process itself that really is showing up as your best self ever. And really, and it comes back, and I know we talked about this in other spaces, but it's like if we don't become a better communicator, if we don't lean in versus leaning back, when it comes to that moment of, presenting our offer, what ends up happening, I feel like we're doing a disservice. I feel like we're being selfish. Because like if we don't guide people into that informed buying decision, if they don't feel right about that being the next step, then we kind of left them feeling like, oh, this launch mechanism, this vehicle that we just took them through, like that can actually be the solution for them. Like they don't need anything else.
Yeah.
And I think it's just unfortunate when people do that.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I love whenever I watch you do, those discovery calls and chat with people. You're super transparent with them. Like you're answering all their questions. They might feel a little bit uneasy. You're transparent with them. You're talking with them through it and letting them know, hey, here's all the things you need to know about how this works. Here's why I think it could work for you. Or in some cases, here's why I don't think it would work for you. Like It's really just being transparent. And then that person, once they have that information, they can make a decision that's best for them.
True. And I think it all comes from intention. That we've all had those hard selling bad experiences in our life, like the used cars salesman type person. And we are not those people. You're not those people, right? Like, so why are we putting ourselves in a position of thinking like that's what we're doing to other people? Because we're not. Like, that's not the intention. Like, we're here to ethically guide people into that informed buying decision. That means they're making the choice to say yes. Like, how many of us have been in launches where we're like, shut up, take our money, take our money. Where's the button, right? That's what we want to get our people to, because that means we did our job right. We create desire, we created interest, we position ourselves properly. They believe not only like they can trust us, they can trust the mechanism, like our process, our formula, our way, our strategy, whatever it is, versus whatever they've tried out in the world. Like that's a lot of things that you're kind of overcoming during that launch process to get people really to truly like, know, and trust you to say yes to your offer.
Yeah. And I think that the more that you practice this, the more that you practice better communications, the more that you practice asking for the sale, it becomes easier and easier each time. That's one of the things that's just like anything else. It's a muscle that you're exercising. So you definitely need to make sure you put yourself in the position to ask for the sale. And again, lead people to that informed buying decision. Give them all the information, and then it's up to them. They make that decision. But you've done your job if you've given them all the information.
Yeah, I agree. And it just something that, again, to rewind back and to think about it, it's like we've done all this work. We put the hard work in. Or either organically with sweat, blood, and tears. Like we went out there in the social media and in the real world, and we had people come into our world, either in our list or following or audience. We've guided them into this launch moment where we're showing up as our best selves to deliver content and provide an opportunity for them to come into our offer. Like, we're putting all this time, energy, and effort into it. The worst thing in the world is for us to be at that 11th hour, right at the end, and to totally like deflate, drop the ball, like not continue that journey, because we're doing, again, coming back, and I really want to reinforce that, we're doing a disservice if we don't take the time to become a better communicator at this moment in time to guide people into that next step. Because if your launch makes people feel like, oh, I got everything, it's bookended, I'm complete, thank you very much, and they leave, they really didn't have that transformation you promised. They really aren't going to be able to have that full transformation, that better life, like whatever it is on the other side that your offer provides. Now, it's really easy for us to do this because we do launches all the time that are very successful, and we've had a lot of launches through the years that weren't, and we've gotten that experience and that knowledge through that. But we have developed a process. We've developed, systems and processes and checklists. And I think we might have a really cool freebie to be able to help everybody kind of go from that little weird part, that's going from them teaching into the offer. Can you explain a little bit about that?
Yeah, so our freebie offer for you today is our open to close cart checklist. So this is a checklist that you can use as you're going through that open to close cart to really make sure you don't miss anything, because there's a lot of moving parts in a launch and it's very easy to overlook something. And so this checklist is going to help you just make sure you have all those major things checked off, you're ready to go, that you make sure that you're really attending to your audience, you're giving that opportunity to your audience to buy from you, and all the other aspects that are part of that to really make sure that your audience has a great experience. So if you want to grab this freebie, just head over to the show notes and you can grab the checklist and use this for your next launch.
We love some checklists, I tell you. So today was an incredible episode. We covered a lot here, and I have to say, this is a game changer for a lot of people. If we just really spend some more time here, avoid these deadly mistakes when it comes to launching. And a lot of times it's building all the things up right, doing all the right things, and then getting to the moment where you're transitioning from what we naturally believe is from serving to selling, where really it's selling is serving the entire time. So that a transition part is very key, very important. We don't want to change our tonality, our speed, our languaging. We want to keep the same tone that we've had the entire time, the same pacing that we had. And we want to be excited and lean in on that opportunity, lead into that enrollment of that offer, because that's what's truly going to give people the transformation. So we really need to think bigger. We need to think about how can we become a better communicator? How can we really feel more comfortable and confident in that moment, so we're not speeding through, we're not doing the shortcuts to get through this piece. We're actually allowing it to have the time and space that it needs, because at that point, we're going to have more people that are going to say yes to the enrolling in themselves, into your offer, so they can actually finally have the transformation that they've always wanted.
I love it. I love it. Today was a great episode. And if you love everything that we talked about today, make sure you head over and subscribe to the Online Marketing Podcast. This is where we talk all things about online marketing, sales, and really making sure that you're leading your audience to the right offers. And also make sure too that you share it with a friend as well too. We love to jam on topics like this, so we would love for them to join us.
Yeah. So don't forget that you do have the opportunity to also grab that checklist, that freebie that we have today from Open to Close Cart Checklist. And otherwise, until we talk again, don't forget, as always, just remember, you're just one launch away from becoming an adaptive marketer.
If you would like to work with us and our team to help you snap up more sales and incredible clients with a stellar marketing strategy that works, go to adaptivemembership.com and sign up for our wait list. We have a limited number of spots in our exclusive program to set you up for success and take action. We're waiting for you at adaptivemembership.com.